products, whether it's or whether you're the product, right? How are you going to deliver that? And then, of course, you've got to do your goal setting and measurement. This is where you do your revenue projections. This is where you create the strategy. You set the goals of what you plan to achieve. So that in a nutshell, you guys, is your business framework. And other business considerations are super important. Google My Business. If each of you do not have a Google My Business, you're missing a huge opportunity to have yourself out there in the digital environment. I mean, right now, I'm out on Google My Business as the best brand coach, Yolanda M. Smith. Whatever that straight stick is. What do they call that, by the way, Pam? You're a communicator. What's that thing called?
The Google your business on the
No, I'm saying like when you like put it's a divider you put between words. What's the straight up and down thing?
oh the bracket.
Okay, that's a
Bracket.
bracket, but it's just
Hmm.
straight. It doesn't have any corners on it, but it's just
Oh,
straight. But anyway, when you divide with that, and then I've got branding for success, which is my company name, because that way, if you Google my name, if you Google best branding, or you Google the company, then I raise up. Then here's the goal to the here's the haha. You go and get that Google your business, but you make sure you send people there to give you reviews. I've
okay.
got about 50 plus reviews there. And when that starts to happen, you get to that mark. Guess what? You bubble up to the
Hmm.
top. You make it to some of the first pages, right? And
Hmm.
what you do. So make sure you have that on there. And then the trademark is important because you know what? That is where you get to own your brand. You get to own your name. You get to own your business. This is huge. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And a patent, if it's an actual product, uh, or where you need to license or confer rights to something for an extended product if you invented something, those sort of things, or a copyright. And copyright is more written material, right? So if you have plays, usually in your book, you can add the copyright symbol to the book and it will protect the book because it will say in there as a disclaimer that it cannot be published, reproduced, whatever. But for other works that you may have, you may need to get that copyright. But one of the advantages of trademark, and I know we want to talk a little bit about this, is because I have seen several of my clients end up getting cease and desist letters. Two recently. One is a home care, and the other one publishes a cream. And somebody else had the name. They didn't know they liked the name, was using the name, had been building the brand around the name, had not trademarked the name.
Oh my
Now,
God.
I can't tell you if somebody took the name from them, seeing that they were successful, what you don't know. But if you're not the one that has trademarked it, it doesn't matter. They can come and tell you to stop immediately from using the name.
Hmm.
And the home care one was the name was so similar in like and the trademark in likeness that it would create confusion in the marketplace, and they told her to cease using it immediately. And you talk about the money that was already spent in so many things, right? So think about the legal protection that you need to do to protect your rights. So I'm the branthropist, and people go, the branthropist, what is that? Well, I invented it, guys. I invented it because when I say it, most people don't know it. They can't get it out of their mouths. But what do? They say, well, what is that? So guess what? I just engaged you. Now I can talk to you. Because if you think about your story, your elevator pitch, your $1 million minute, the goal there is not to give somebody a book to read about you. It's about to tell them something compelling and interesting that makes them say, tell me more. So if I'm telling you I'm a people growth leader and brand therapist, they're like a brand therapist, what is that? Okay, let me tell you. And now I'm in a conversation with you. So I got you. Because remember, you got to catch them at hello. Because here's the deal. The reality is that our attention span today as a human is less than that of a goldfish. If you don't believe me, go Google it. A goldfish has an attention span of about 7 to 8 seconds. Ours is somewhere around six or less. It's crazy.
Hmm.
But this is why you've got to have these things taken care of. You know, my business, Branding for Success, is trademark, program, trademarked. You know what I mean? So that nobody can do it. But not only that, you can start to use that to build that brand recognition and trust. Because when people see that you've gone the step to really put your things together, that puts you in a different position. They're like, okay, they're for real. This is a quality outfit. So when you say to yourself, how do you want to show up in the marketplace? What's your brand? then you've got to make sure that not only do you look the part, you act the part, right? You can't just say I'm a brand, but they need to see it from all aspects, from your social media to how you conduct yourself to the products you put out there in the marketplace. And this also allows you to really have a valuable asset. And sometimes, just depending on how can you imagine what that Nike swoosh will cost right now?
Ooh, billion.
I mean, just imagine you want, and now I'm going to give you this thought. When I work with people, one of the first things we talk about, they'd be like, I want to scale my business. I want to grow. I said, okay, well, what's your end game? Huh? I said, what's your end game? I want to know the exit strategy before we start the planning strategy. Nobody thinks about the exit strategy. Do you want to set yourself up for acquisition? Are you building a coaching program? Are you doing the consulting where you can pass it on and leave a legacy? What are you doing? What's the end game? We don't even think about that. We just doing what we do, just worker bee, worker bee, worker bee. Well, what's your end game? Because I'm not working for the rest of my life. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm gonna be perched up on somebody's waterway with a little cocktail in my hand, talking about, oh, happy day, thank you, Jesus. It was a good life. So you need to know what that end game is. But this, and then when people see your registered trademark symbol, it deters them from you. It's like, I'm not even going that way, because they don't want that smoke. But this is the beauty of having your attorney. So I was in an Instagram, put in branding for success, and somebody else popped up. Oh, what you doing? You know, but you thought you was gonna put some little spacers. What is it called? What's the bottom one? The Lord Jesus, I don't know my punctuation clearly. What's at the bottom? You know, like you put the something not the hyphen, but the one at the bottom. Anyway, you're gonna put those in the bottom to separate the words and think you could use it. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I know what you mean. Yeah. No.
So you know what I did? I just tapped that out and had them underscore.
Thank you.
Underscore. Yes. So you know what I did? I just tapped that out. I need to speak to you about trademark infringement. Get the attorney on the line. Hey, what am I supposed to do about this? He said, just send them a message and say politely that this is the case. He said, then if they don't do it, we're going to send them a letter to cease and desist. You know, and I told her, I said, this is the deal. I have the trademark. I even showed her the paperwork showing I had the trademark. I don't have a problem. And she just said, my apologies. That's all she said. My apologies. But it was down. It was down. Good. So that's why that's so important, because when you think about the consequences of the trademark infringement, you can go after somebody and sue them. But think about, if you can hold it off on the front end and not have to do that, you save everybody money. Or if you're infringing on somebody's trademark and don't know it, they can sue you. So you really have to know what you're using out here. And right now, I was looking at some stats, and it's crazy. It's crazy right now. They said that businesses are losing across the board billions of dollars just on trademark infringement, and people starting to come after you. And the bottom line is that if you don't have it trademarked and you've got a good thing going and somebody sees it and likes it, think about it. Let's say you had a great program, Faith Over Destiny or something, you know what I mean? And that program's going good. You've got people coming to your conferences and thing, and all of a sudden you don't have a trademark, and somebody go trademark it and start doing the conference, Faith Over Destiny. Don't you think people gonna think that's that? Think about this. They go create a copycat, and before you know it, your people are going that way, thinking that's your program that you're putting on, and there's nothing you can do about it, because guess what? They trademarked it. So you see a lot going on in terms of counterfeiting and everything. If you're not trademarked, people can do it. They can just repeat it. And if somebody does something negative, think about this. Let me watch my time, because I'll talk a lot. If somebody does something negative, then the other piece to that is that they're going to think it's you. And then that damages your reputation. And people don't trust you because you didn't give good customer service or something, but it was the name of your product. So it's just these things. And the bottom line is that, it can cost a lot of money to have to go after people and do all this stuff. Why not deter them up front? And the biggest one is, we don't even want to create market confusion, because what did I just tell you? Confused people don't buy. And so when you think about, well, what can I do about this? Kind of think about it from the standpoint of disruptive innovation. Because how many of us remember shopping at the mall, right? I mean, you can still go to the mall and shop, but most people do what? We shop online. We go to Amazon or we go to other stores. Now, every retailer pretty much is online. I don't do a whole bunch of store shopping. I don't have to. I know my size. I'm pretty true to my size. If I like it, I buy it online. Or at one point, we had to have tangible products to listen to music, CDs, I'm going to date myself, DVDs, you know. No, I'm going to go back further, records, you know.
Album, right?
Yes, we had some albums, you know, but now we don't need to do
I prefer the 8-track tapes.
8-track tapes. There you go, 8-track tapes. But we
I
don't
had
have
that
to
too.
do that anymore because now you've got things like Apple, Spotify that just deliver your music right through your phone, right? So
Sure.
imagine what could you do if you could get access to the justice system that way? Because guess what? Most people do not go and get an attorney because they automatically think it's too expensive. People don't want to pay high retainer fees. And particularly if you are a smaller business, you're really getting off the ground, getting started, you don't want to have to do that. I have a client, she's in the mental wellness space, right? She has to have a HIPAA patient attorney on staff. She's $500 an hour. She told me, she said, Yolanda, I went and asked her 3 questions in 1 month and my retainer reduced by $1,500. She goes, that's not sustainable. I was like, good grief, $1,500 just to ask a question? I mean, this is the real world in which we live in. But imagine being able to get help whenever you need it by literally just tapping an app and paying an affordable monthly fee. This is amazing. You guys, I was introduced to this, and I'm just going to share a little bit of with it to you, but I was introduced to this back in the beginning of the year because I had a client. She was a coaching client. She was using my resources. She was doing extremely well. And then all of a sudden, I guess she got the feeling herself and she was like, I don't want to pay no more. I got it now. I don't want to pay. And I allowed her to get on a payment plan, which is nice because, you know, some people are going to make you pay right up front, right? They won't even give you a payment plan. But she was under a binding contract. Why? Because I had already gone and gotten my contracts tightened up. The year before that, I'm going to be transparent with this group because I can. I lost $45,000 because I had raggedy paperwork. If your speaking contracts, if your coaching contracts, if your consulting contracts are not tight, people will jump through the hoops to get out of paying you. And these are the people, let me be clear, that you would never in a million, you'd be like, oh, that's the most professional, put together person. Listen, let me tell you something. It ain't fair out here in this world. That's all I can tell you. You can't judge a book by its cover. The people that I think would have, don't, and the ones I thought wouldn't do. That's how crazy it is. So the thing is that we've got to separate business from our nice personal side, right? Business is just business. I was way too nice, and that wasn't sustainable for me to lose that money. I go to an attorney asking to write me a letter. He says that'd be $850. I said, oh my goodness, $850. I said, listen, I just need your letterhead. I can tell you what to write, 3 sentences. A, your account's in delinquent status. Number 2, you're in a binding contract. Number 3, if you don't make a payment by such and such day, we're going to start collections. And he started chuckling. He said, Yolanda, I understand, but I need to read the contract. I said, no disrespect, sir. How slow do you read? Because it's only 4 pages. And he said, well, I don't know what to tell you. It's $850. I was like, hold that thought. I remember this guy had been hitting me up in Facebook saying, you're a small business. You need this. This will benefit your business. I promise you, you get it now. You don't have to worry later. I'm like, nah. He said, as a matter of fact, you coach coaches. You'd be great at this. You can even help them. Nah. I'm a branding expert. I'm a business strategist. I'm not doing none of that stuff. So guess what? Now, all of a sudden, I had to go back to him, humble myself. And I'm like, hey, James, do y'all write letters? He's like, Miss Smith, how are you? I'm like, I get almost like he knew. I knew she'd be here. I knew she'd come back. He said, as a matter of fact, we do. We write 5 a month. I said, 5 a month? Well, hopefully I don't need 5 a month. How much is it? He said, $49. I said, $49? He goes, yeah, and you get contracts reviewed. You get tax assistance help. You get structure help. You get to help with any type of employee issues you may have. You get this. I mean, the list went on. I said, you got to be kidding me. So if anybody knows me, my mind, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right? So I'm going $50. I rounded up, divided into the 850, and I said, holy cow, you're telling me I can have 17 months of a legal team for what I would pay for one letter? You've got to be kidding me. He said, I promise you, you can. He said, but now if you need trademark or anything like that, you can up it to the $99 a month and you can get one free trademark a year. Are you aware of what a trademark costs? I said, yes, sir, because I just spent $500 for one. Mm-hmm. I'll be darned. He said, you get one free legal trademark a year. Now you just have to pay the USTPO fee. That's just your filing fee, but all the attorney fees are. I said, you've got to be kidding me. So when you think about sometimes how do we make our business decisions today? Is it logical, or are we typing into Google? Because that's where I got them little bum contracts. I just want you to know, be careful. And they had loopholes all in them. Oh, so no. Be careful what you get off of the internet, you know, or you might want to use a friend who's a lawyer, which is great unless they're not in your state. If they're not in your state, state laws vary and things of that nature. So that's a problem. Or you have to pay the high hourly rates or retainer fees. This is a way to be able to do it affordably, because think about it. You could have anything from a vendor issue, a supplier issue, a contract dispute, right? They will help you collect debts. So I got the letter written, but also if you're in the game of digital products, and I don't know if anybody is, but I do digital products. So I know I'm gonna run out of time, but if y'all liking this, hang in there with me, okay?
This is good.
I'm working right now off of 7 streams of income. Digital products is one that's passive income where you create it one time and you never do it again. I coach, I speak, I do corporate training, I do legal shield, I have real estate, and I get a pension. I haven't even got my Social Security and my other pension. You guys, if you don't figure out how to make money, you'll be trading time for money for the rest of your life. You got to figure out how to make that passive income. But when you do, and you're working in this digital landscape, what you find is that people will do crazy stuff. And when they know that what they buy from you is non-refundable, what they've gotten slick and they realize is that they can do a credit card dispute. So I've gotten a couple credit card disputes along the way because somebody does something, they get buyer's remorse, they want to get back out of it, right? Or maybe some financial situation happened. But in certain when you do digital products, it's got to be all sales final, because once they buy it and they get the email and download it, it's out of your control. It's not like you can take it back. They got it. And I've had several people that would do that. Initially, I would give them their money back. Well, guess what? They just got my product and got their money. So they essentially got it for free. They're slick. I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of people are out here playing the game. So what they'll do is they'll do a credit card dispute, did the credit card dispute, and then lo and behold, I'm like trying to dispute it and I'm all emotional. They can't do that. That's not fair. It says, no, I'm losing. Yo, when I got that legal shield, I went to the attorney. She said, first of all, honey, we're going to take the emotion out of it. And let's do this. Point 1, point 2, point 3, upload ABC. Why did I win? Every time since then, I've won. But what if I didn't have that attorney that I could just ask to help me? So it's things like that that you just don't have to have the headaches when people refuse to pay. You get audited for your taxes and things like this. This is a subscription legal service. I don't know if you've heard it. It used to be prepaid legal. They've been around 52 years. And it's just, I don't know where it was. I didn't know about it. To be honest, I didn't know about it, but I didn't know what it was. But when I figured it out, I said, good grief, this makes a ton of sense. Why not have access to your rights before you need it and anytime you need it? And so this is what it does. And then they work with vetted law firms all over the country. So every state has lawyers, law firms that help you and give you advice and representation based on what your needs are. So they do things like a small business plans. They do the Essential, the Plus, the Pro. They have different advantages to all of them. The one that I sell the most, I'll be honest, is that middle plan, particularly if you want a trademark. Right. Now, if you've already got a trademark and you just want to make sure you've got somebody you can call, you want to make sure you've got somebody that can look at your contracts and do and have on hand for collections and things like that, then the Essentials plan is sufficient, right? You can do a $49 plan, but you have an opportunity to call them about anything. And if it's not covered under your subscription services, guess what? You still get it at a 25% discount off the hourly rate. So no matter how you slice it, you save money. So this is super powerful. But not only that, they do personal plans too. And I'm going to tell you something that I do know. I just got off the phone with a gentleman and he is 71 years old and he doesn't have his will done. Guess what? Because 7 out of 10 people do not have their will done. You guys, we are living in a time where we don't know the day nor the hour. Why would we not have our house in order? You
Mhm.
know, this is an opportunity that you can really not leave those burdens on the family. But not only that, you know, think about things like if you have any civil suits, they put in carpet and the carpet wasn't right and they refused to do something about it. Tap that app. I had a situation with a shirt at the cleaners. It was a Versace blouse. Well, you know, that was not inexpensive. And they're going to tell me, well, we don't know whether we did it or not. Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, you know what? Tap that app. I called the attorney. Attorney made a phone call. Well, now they sent him a letter. Sent him a letter. Why did I get a phone call from the cleaner saying, Miss Smith, we'll be cutting you a check and your check will be coming in the mail within 7 days?
Wow.
This is what I'm talking about, having that access for anything that happens to you. And so they have your personal plans too. I'm not going to get into all this for time's sake, but you can just look at this sheet for $38 a month. You guys, you get free wills, power of attorneys, you get your advance directives, you get civil defense, IRS assistant, document review. I mean, this is crazy. I can't make it no plainer. I mean, traffic assistance you get, and this is our preferred plan. We've got a premium plan that'll do revocable trust and everything else at $49.99 a month. I'm just saying, this is like your legal insurance policy. And why do I tell people this? Because it's important. Why do you not, you know, everybody else has an attorney. Do you know every business that you do business with has attorneys? And who do they use their attorneys against?
Sometimes they have them on staff.
Oh, absolutely. But
Mhm.
who do they take the money that you pay them, whether it's your mortgage, whether it's your light bill, whether it's your, all of those companies have an attorney. So why should not you? Right? It just makes sense. And then of course we do identity shield as well. And this is one of those things right now that I don't care whether you would get it from Legal Shield or not. You guys, if you don't have someone monitoring your identity, and I'm not talking about just your credit report, I'm talking about the dark web, I'm talking about your social media, I'm talking about your public records and all these things. See, when you get it through a credit card, they're monitoring your credit report. You need to have everything monitored because there's a lot going on. Through Legal Shield, they give you a $3 million fraud protection policy so that if your identity is stolen and you can't recoup, they recoup. Not only that, they'll give you a free private investigator to do whatever it takes, however long it takes to restore your name back to pre-theft status. And an individual is $19.95. A whole family plan is $34.95 and covers 15 devices. With that, it's like cybersecurity. I don't even have to do like the malware and protection software. I don't have to do that. This covers it all. Amazing. This stuff is unbelievable. Oh, I forgot. Okay, you're going to get some perks too. Over 400 retailers. How, if you shop and you do business how you do business normally, you can save money. Perfect example. I've got a daughter at Hampton University. I was taking her back to school. I had to rent a car because I'm not driving there. It's too far from Indiana. Rent a car, did it the regular way. And then it hit me. Okay, Dodo, you got member perks. Go get a rental car through Legal Shield. Go get the rental car. Why did I say $50 a day on that SUV? $50 a day. Now that $50 a day, turn around and paid for that plan. I
Mm.
don't spend money on the plan. I use my benefits and my perks to pay for the plan. But the bottom line as I close out is that you got to have income streams. You guys, whatever you do as you're building your business, your speaking business, whatever, think about it. As a speaker, you cannot get on stage and not have something to offer them. You cannot, I know you're not leaving your people hanging. If
No,
you get up on stage and you deliver that powerful message, you give them that information, then you can't drop them off. You got to still give them something to keep them going. And so when you look at all the different income streams you can have, I want you to really be thinking hard about what do I need to be doing? Because there's a lot of ways. And if you're not paying in that passive income space, you're missing a huge opportunity to make money while you sleep.
Mhm.
This is a wonderful source of income for me. I've got courses, a couple courses. I sell my books as lead magnets and do all kind of things. Then I upsell them to a bundle, give them an access pass to my challenge. Listen, I got something for you. You want something? I got it. But make sure that you be thinking about how can I get multiple streams of income? Because if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die.
Mhm.
Bottom line, that's a Warren Buffett quote. That's a
Mhm.
Warren Buffett quote. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna just leave you with this. If you think about one of those streams of income, I do Legal Shield. I just earned my 50K ring. I came into the business in January. I didn't even get serious about it until I went to Oklahoma to the international conference in, what was that, April? Came back April. I told Pam, I said, girl, I think I'm gonna get serious about this. Got serious about it, got an executive director the next month, and just got my 50K ring. Now that's just an extra $50,000. I don't know about you guys. You might have plenty of money, but that $50,000, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Sometimes you got to have another why, right? I'm paying at Hampton University. Guess what I'm paying? $50,000. That just paid my daughter's. Listen to me, you guys. That just paid her tuition. But not only that, because this is multi-level marketing, I put her up under me. She's never sold Legal Shield in her life, but I built the team up under her. She's made over $12,000 and ain't said the word Legal Shield to nobody, because you have the ability to create generational wealth. Because why? There's 4 types of income: commission, overrides, residual, and bonuses. This is crazy. $49 to start in that business. I'm not going to try to convince you of nothing. I'll just share it. That's my job, to be able to share it. So if I were to sell you a plan for $38 and you got the family ID plan with it, at an entry level, when you come in, you would make $80. I'm an executive director. Look at the difference. And it takes the same level of effort to talk about it that you do. So if you think you may be interested in another stream of income and you want to also have impact and it makes sense, let's talk about this, it makes sense for your business, then this is something we can talk about. I'm not forcing it to you, but when somebody else sells something and you climb up the ladder, you see the overrides that you get on what they sell. So you make money on what you sell, you make money on what they sell, you get residual income when people use their plans and they're really excited about it and they keep it. So month 13, then they start to pay you. And guess what? We've got over 38,000 people in the organization that are just getting residual checks sitting on their butt doing nothing. And here's the ha-ha, guess what? It's willable. So you can will this to your family member. You never have to lose this book of business ever. The only thing I can just tell you, there's bonuses and all that. I'm not going into all that, but I just want you to know that there are powerful tools out there that can help position us to have sustainable businesses, build our brands in a way that it's bulletproof, right? Nobody can come and penetrate our brands, but also knowing we have an opportunity that we can create multiple streams of income through digital products, through impacting other people. Because you know what? I love this because it's something people need, not that they want. I'm not selling a tube of lipstick, and I ain't got no problem with no tube of lipstick. I like some lipstick. But this is something they need. So I feel like this, I say this, I'm empowering people with access to their rights. And for those people that feel like a attorney, legal services is out of their hands, it's no longer there. And I'm just shouting it to the mountaintop. So that's why I share it.
I love it. I love it.
Yep. That's it. So on that note, if you're interested, you can hit the QR code, or you can, I think I can probably put this link in the, and that's my thing. You can make 1,000,000 excuses or you can make $1 million. You choose, right?
I put Yolanda at yolandamsmith.com too.
Yep. That's my
email.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The email. But yeah, so just know that there's great opportunities here for you guys, and just think about some of the things that I've shared with you, because this is so powerful. That's the link to the legal sharing. Just review it more, but it's so powerful. If anybody's got any questions, I know I talk fast, I know we're over, but if you got questions, I'd be happy to take your questions. I'm okay on time, but I want to be respectful.
Okay, that's not a clickable link, so I'll retype it.
Oh, it's not?
It's like it's a JPEG for whatever reason. I'll retype.
Oh, it is. It did do that, didn't it? Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just retype it.
Okay. Yep. Anybody have any questions? Did I just blow you? Did I talk too fast or what?
No. It's like 8:10. So normally we're always like at 8 on Thursday, from 7 to 8. So we're a little bit longer, but I want everybody to introduce themselves and really let you know where they are. Yeah, she said, I send you email with a couple of questions later. Yeah,
yes. Okay. Let me put my email. Oh, she's got it. Yolanda at yolandamsmith.com. That's my email. So
Mhm.
yes, you can absolutely, yeah. And if you guys have any questions, send it. And then what I can do is I can send you a link and we can book time to talk about, or I can just, let me just drop the link in here too. I'll drop the link in here too. So if you want to talk in person or send an email, it's totally, the choice is up to you either way. But here's the thing, whatever you do, and I don't care who you do it with, the key is to do it, because knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power. So no matter what you do, just do something and make sure you secure yourself, because I just don't feel comfortable right now where we are. And I feel like it's going to be easy for people just to come and snatch things from us because they think they can. There's going to be this sense of entitlement that they're entitled to our stuff. And right now, I leave you with the fact that stay focused, stay intentional, right? We're not going to get caught up in the distractions that if you can't control it, don't give energy to it, and put the energy toward the things that you do. So
I
thank you
love that.
guys.
Thank you. I love this. One of my first jobs when I was out in high school, actually, 16, I was a legal secretary part-time. Then I worked for the largest law firm as a legal, like a law librarian type of thing. So I love law and I
Mhm.
love this. This is like the
Mhm.
easiest thing. I didn't want to go to law school though. I was like, oh, that's just way too much. It just seemed boring. But it is important. Just like I don't like, dealing with a whole bunch of numbers, but you need a CPA. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, so you
Right.
need
You
that.
find
So
your who. You find your who. But these are the things,
a
and
team.
and this is the thing. I don't have to guess at it. You know what I mean? I just tap the. I mean, literally, it's on an app. And the other thing, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go. But you guys, if you have children, I mean, I think the kid. I mean, now I've got kids that are at college age, right? And I got a girl. She's a little sassy. She turned 21 today, but she's a little sassy at the mouth. She's at a party. The police is trying to push him back. She gonna tell the officer, that's not what we fitting to do. I said, you said what to him? He was pushing, mom. I told him we not fitting to do that. I said, girl, if you don't have that app. So literally, if the kids were, or you, anybody, think about it. If you're ever in a situation where you're being detained for whatever reason and you're feeling uncomfortable, you can say, officer, may I exercise
To get
my
an attorney.
privilege to contact my attorney. I've got them on speed dial. And literally on this app, this Legal Shield app, there's a call button, and one of them is red. It's an emergency call button where you can tap it right there, 24/7 emergency access to an attorney, and they will get on the line and you can say, sir, I'm being detained. I don't understand what it is that's going on. They've got my license, won't tell me why they're holding me. Will you please talk to the officer? Officer, here's my attorney, give it to diffuse the situation. We've got several examples of how that worked. And I just don't think we're in the time right now where we can be playing. I need my kids to come home alive, you know what I mean, and be safe. I just don't know what we're up against. So
I love that. That is
multiple,
good. That is good.
multiple
What?
reasons for a couple Starbucks. What Starbucks? I went to Starbucks. Shoot, my Starbucks is like $9-10. So think about 3 Starbucks a month. You got yourself legal protection. You got a whole, and here's the thing, I use them as my team. That is my team. You got your core team, right? You got your CPA, your accountant person who does, whoever does your taxes. You got your legal team. You got your coaches, your mentors, right? Your spiritual team, your marketing team. They're part of the core team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't pay them a whole lot of money. That's a
And
good team. Hell, they
and the
cheaper
IT team. Forget the
from the
IT people.
IT team. Yeah, they
Lord.
cheaper than IT people.
Yeah. Right.
They
The
cheaper than anybody I pay. Let's be honest. If I'm only paying you $38 a month, and I'm or 49, I got the $49 plan now because I got my trademark. I got the $49 plan. I'm paying you $49 a month, and I'm paying these jokes. It's amazing, guys. That's all I can say. Yeah,
And then
definitely.
also to follow Yolanda too on Instagram. Her Instagram is just so cute. It is so cute.
At
So,
branding for success.
oh,
Yes.
it's such so branding. So brand. I mean the color.
Yes, get
This,
yourself branded, guys. That is so
oh my,
important.
it
And
is.
it's the
She
number
does it
4.
right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
branding for success, the number 4. Yeah, when you think about your colors, you guys have your colors and things like that. Just remember, your brand is not your logo, your colors, or your website. You got to know what your brand is first, right? Then you create your brand identity. That's your brand identity. So literally, what is it that you represent out there? And is it so visible to people that when they see you, they know exactly who you are?
Mhm.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And if you don't have the blue check on Instagram, pay the money and get the blue check. You want to be verified because people are out there hacking accounts. Again, this is another way to protect yourself. And so when you think about the legal shield, when you think about the blue check, all of those are business expenses. You can take them off on your taxes. Think about there's a cost to doing business if we want to do it right.
Mhm. It is. It is.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
blue check on the Pam Perry one as well.
Absolutely.
Have
Yeah.
to do all those things. So,
Yeah.
Rhonda, thank you so much. Brandfluence, if you want to get this on Amazon, it really is a book that you want to watch her and look at how she's doing certain things, and she tells you how to do it in the book. You know, people
Yep.
always, how do you
Yep.
do it? You know, it's in the,
Yep.
like
Yep,
how.
we did. We covered every channel in there, and I tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because listen, I went to social media kicking and screaming. I didn't want to do all that. Now I was a LinkedIn girl because I was corporate, right? But all that other stuff, and when I had to learn Instagram, I was like, oh my God, no, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, I started learning it, understanding the value of it, and then just started growing my following like crazy. I mean, because that's the whole key. Now I'm working on YouTube. I admit I was kicking and screaming because I didn't want to do a bunch of videos, but I realized I have all this content through my challenge that I get. So I do a brand domination challenge. It's 5 days. My next one's December the 8th through the 12th. You guys, this is 5 days. You talking about coming in and getting your structure, getting your brand, getting it's amazing, amazing. But you can just
And she actually delivered a brand, I guess you say a brand blueprint to our client Terrence, and it was about this thick. It's like get like an MBA type of a thing, right? It's like it is no joke.
but he worked with me. He worked as a
Yeah.
client. Yeah,
Oh,
he didn't get that from the challenge, but
it
yeah.
was well, yeah, he started
Oh yeah.
but then he went,
No,
but it's like it was amazing. I was like, okay, this is serious. So I know all of us are serious in doing business, doing $1 million business. One of the main things is that you don't want to make it and then lose it. So that's why I had the legal shield to really, you know, be that opportunity
it's
for
just a way to do it affordably, right? If you want to pay an attorney, that's fine too. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I just want people to be covered. And this is just one of those things that in full transparency, I didn't think it was a big deal. And then when I started losing my shirt, I was like, you know what, sis, you got to tighten up. This is no joke. And see, where I made the mistake, guys, is I came from corporate and I was very successful in the corporate environment. Well, guess what? Corporate already gives you your structure and your frameworks and the processes. I didn't have to create them. Here's the challenge if you just want to take a look at. I didn't have to create them. But when I got to become an entrepreneur, guess what? It's your responsibility to create the frameworks, the processes, and the structure. If you do not create that, you're going to forever be the employee in your business versus the CEO. You're going to be working in the business, not on the business. And that's a big difference. Big difference.
Good.
Because you want to enjoy it.
Brian just put in Telegram. He says sizzle reels are in progress. 6 are done. More to come later. All right. So make sure that for each one of our pages that we have our cover, those sizzle reels are underneath that. And so your form that you filled out and everything will be under there as well. So yeah, so that is good. So 6 is done. I think 7 more to go. So you just have to be a little bit, and I put in Telegram the link to Yolanda's challenge as well. So in December, so you can have that as well. So
yeah,
we have a Telegram group as well. And you all have a, you know, we had the other Telegram for 1 and 2. Anyway, then everybody's combined and ready to go speak. So everybody's in there. So
yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Well, thank you guys. No questions or anything.
I have a question.
Okay. Who's
I
that?
was getting ready to say this is the quietest group I've ever dealt with.
They are a little quiet. Some of them are quiet. I guess it's just very you know, headsy. Very headsy. You know, I don't have no cut-ups in here. There ain't no cut-ups.
Oh, what?
We had some cut-ups in ours, so gotta like try to calm some of them down. But this group is really, really just very, like I said,
Oh, y'all need me up in here, then I'll be cutting up. I'd have y'all off the chain. She'd be like, can we get back on track? Yes, Dr. David.
Trademark.
Mm-hmm.
Does this company do trademarks?
Correct. That yes. So that's what I was explaining.
You get 1 a year with one of the plans.
$99 package.
Yeah.
The $99 package gives you all the legal services that was listed in addition to one free trademark or copyright a year. And that would mean the legal services around that, which typically can cost $2,000 to $2,500. Sometimes it depends on where if you're in New York, it might be $3,000, $3,500. I mean, it gets expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking into trademarks, and I got what is called like a consultation with a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they sent me I think they call it an intake thing where you fill out your stuff, but my meeting is with them next week. It's interesting that there's a consultation fee, right?
Absolutely.
That's interesting.
Absolutely. How much is your consultation fee?
$200.
Yeah. So think about it. You already had 2 months worth of legal services plus a free trademark for $200.
Yeah. So if I do go with them because I've already made the contact and they do it once, then I could move on to something else, right? To this particular program, right?
I would not listen. Let me just tell you this. There's no way in heck you can do your consultation, but there's no way in heck I would move forward with them. Why would you ever do that?
Right. Because they're going to charge you $2,000.
Right. They're going to charge you more.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. It's not going to, yeah, the 200 is just your consultation.
Right. Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's no way I would move forward with
them. If nothing else, that's one reason why I do it, for the trademark, because I tried to do the trademark on my own. It was like $3,500 and it was just all confusing and all that. So if nothing else, I just do it for the trademark.
Okay. Thank you.
Say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Trademarks are so important. You want to trademark maybe the name of your program, your book. I have friends that just,
and your name, if you're speakers, I mean, we've got people that literally are trademarking their name.
And domain names. You could trademark domain names too, if that's it. So Jeff, that might be something that you want to do as well.
Yeah, you can't. Well, you cannot trademark a domain name, but you can trademark the word. Bookings.com was an exception, and they paid millions of dollars for that exception. But in typical form, you cannot trademark a domain name.
A domain.
Right.
But the words in the domain you can trademark.
But the words in the domain.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Which could then stop somebody from, if you didn't have the domain, you could stop somebody from using that domain. Correct?
Yeah, but it's still predicated. It's still predicated on the time of which the domain name was registered or your trademark. The first thing that's always going to happen when you get what's called a UDRP file is they're going to check and see when did you do your trademark. So just because you got a trademark, you don't have legal tender. You don't have a legal right to it. If I was using it in fairness before you got your trademark, if I had a domain name
on the domain.
Yes. If I had a domain name, let's just say
he has hundreds and hundreds of domains. That's his part of his business of his what do you call it? One of his streams of income.
I'm a domain investor and
that's his other stream. That's besides the photography, his other stream of income is a domain investor.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's good. That's good to know though. Yeah. I bet you could scare somebody though. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I own about 500. I had a portfolio of about 1,300 about a couple of years ago. I got it down to about 500.
Because you sell them.
Yeah, I buy and sell. Yeah,
you're one of those people that every time I go and I want to get a nice domain, they want to sell it to me for this astronomical price because you done bought up all the catchy domains. Yeah, I got you. That's a smart move though.
Yeah, but the reason why that happened is because they come back into circulation. So they're not really available for you to buy anyway. It's just how you have to be able to I know how to get them in acquisition.
Wow.
You understand? Every day,
you might want to talk with Jeff Yolanda about the one that we did,
the Brandfluence. Yeah.
Because maybe
nice name.
Yeah.
Because we had to get it .tv, I think. .com wasn't available.
Right.
You have Jeff, do you have my dang on domain?
I might. but let me just say something real quick about that there. This is just something to go on to what you just got done saying. You have to be very careful about acquiring a domain name and getting acquiring a domain name and you in a secondary TLD, because if it's taken in the first, you have to make a consideration that it's a trademark on it. And this is just my experience, you have to live on .com. You have to live on .com for many, many reasons. And one of the reasons, most specifically, is because of the security of it. If you
Oh,
were to register a domain name in like .co, you're going to lose traffic and you're going to lose emails to the person that's got the .com. So
yeah.
sensitive information could be going to the person that's got the .com. Because I could add a what we call a drop email, a catch all email, and I'm going to get all the email address, all the email that comes in.
Wow, that's good to know.
That's why you have to own a .com.
Well,
If you want to sell your business later on, you got to own a .com. If you want to sell your business, you got to own a .com.
we're gonna work on
Okay,
it.
that's good to know. Yeah, and that brandfluence.tv, that's not the main thing, but
Yeah.
still, yeah, that's interesting to know. Okay,
She's
I'm
gonna-
gonna be teaching that. Thank you. That's good information to know.
All right. Well,
Thanks.
you all, thank you. Hey, Mark. You all, this is a little bit longer, but if you have Yolanda's info, you can, Yolanda at yolandamsmith.com. You can email her. Okay. She's part of our community, of our faculty. Okay. All righty. Thank you guys.
All right, have a good
Yeah.
evening. Hopefully
All
this was valuable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It
Good
was,
night, Yolanda.
it was
It was.
very valuable.
Yes, it was.
Dr. Laverne had to jump off. You know, she's in Portugal, so I think it's like 2 a.m. there or something like
Oh,
that.
bless
So,
her heart.
yeah, so she had to jump off, but everybody else, thank you all for sticking for the entire time. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
send
have a
all
great
the recording
evening.
of this. Well,
Thank
this was
you.
really
Great
good.
weekend.
All righty, take care. Bye bye. Next week is Talk About